Pitching is the art of instilling fear. That's not a warning, that's a mission statement. Sandy Koufax didn't just say it, he lived it.
There goes the bat. Jim Lemon just escapes it. Down at first, it's a strike.
And over the last 100 years of baseball, some men have taken that art to disturbing new levels. Men who stood on the mound like executioners. Men who didn't just aim to strike you out, they aimed to haunt your memory. You knew the pitch was coming. You knew it would be fast. You just didn't know if it was going to your bat or your skull. From the legends of the past to the nightmares of today, these are the most terrifying pitchers in baseball history. So step into the box, grip the bat tight, and pray the guy on the mound doesn't decide you're next. If you live for baseball's wildest stories and legends that hit 100 on the radar gun, hit that like button and subscribe to Foul Ball. Let's go. Pitcher number 1. Randy Johnson, the walking nightmare. At 6'10", Randy Johnson didn't walk to the mound. He towered over it. He had the snarl, the mustache, the mullet, and a fastball that felt like it was launched from a rocket launcher. His stride was so long it felt like he was handing the ball to the catcher or jamming it into your ribs. And then there was the slider. A sidearm death blade that broke so violently it made right-handed batters consider early retirement.
Koufax, he threw a fastball, and that ball would start here, and by the time you swing it, it would hop a little bit up here.
But the real terror? Johnson had no idea where the ball was going early in his career. Neither did you. He once walked as many batters as he struck out. Batting helmets turned into crash test dummies. Even his teammates refused to face him in bullpen sessions, so the Mariners used a mannequin instead. That's real. Let's not forget the time he obliterated a dove mid-flight with a fastball in spring training. That's not folklore. That's a video. John Kruk at the 1993 All-Star Game stepped in, saw one pitch sail behind his head, and basically gave up. He wasn't injured, just mentally destroyed. Randy Johnson made every pitch feel like a coin flip, and sometimes that coin landed on chaos. Pitcher number 2, Bob Gibson, the enforcer. Bob Gibson didn't pitch, he attacked.
You know, if Bob Gibson throws one high and tight to me, I'm just going to look at him and go like this. I'm not going to yell at him, because he'll whip my ass if I yell at him.
He didn't smile, he didn't talk, he glared. If you smiled at him, he'd drill you. If you dug in, he'd knock you down. If you looked confident, he'd remind you who was in control. And in the late 1960s, he controlled everything. In 1968, Gibson posted a 1.12 ERA, the lowest in the modern era. He threw 8 complete games in 9 World Series starts, and MLB literally lowered the mound because of him. That's right, baseball changed the rules because of Bob Gibson. They called it the Gibson Rule. He threw 9 pitches, by his own count. 2 fastballs, 2 sliders, a curve, a change, a knockdown, a brushback, and 1 labeled hit batsman. He was a machine, but he wasn't heartless. He once pitched 3 more batters after breaking his fibula from a line drive. The scariest part? He meant it all. Pitcher numero 3, Pedro Martinez, Señor Plunk. Pedro Martinez didn't look intimidating at first glance. 5 feet 11 inches, 170 pounds, soaking wet. But that fastball danced at 97 with tail.
Lined up in the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball in there for a call strike. From Japan, the pitch.
And he will catch Pedro Martinez. A lot of the great pitchers have 2 great pitches, but Pedro gives you 3 quality pitches.
His curve dropped off the table, and his changeup, maybe the nastiest in MLB history. He could locate every pitch, which meant if you got hit, it wasn't by accident. Pedro didn't just pitch inside. He owned inside. He plunked Derek Jeter and Alfonso Soriano in back-to-back at-bats, and then joked his Red Sox teammates should send them both in the same ambulance. Señor Plunk lit up radars and benches. He threw behind batters. He ignited brawls. And once, he body-slammed 72-year-old Don Zimmer during a playoff melee. Pedro wasn't just dominant, he was diabolical. Pitcher number 4, Sandy Koufax, the Phantom Curve. For 6 seasons, Sandy Koufax was untouchable. Hitters said his fastball sounded like it screamed, but it was his curveball that froze time. Even Mickey Mantle, one of the most feared hitters ever, once stood motionless as Koufax's curve dropped from eye level to knee-high for strike 3. He just stood there and muttered, "How the hell is anyone supposed to hit that?" He was so unhittable, teams would call games due to light drizzle just to avoid him. Even at 45, years after retiring, Koufax could still throw a curveball that left modern hitters swinging at air in batting practice. Pitcher number 5, Nolan Ryan, the Texas executioner. No one threw harder for longer. 7 no-hitters, 5,714 strikeouts, and 1 table leg used as a bat because a Tigers hitter thought it gave him better odds.
Overpowering that Norm Cash came to the plate in the 9th with a table leg instead of a bat. Umpire Luciano made Cash.
Nolan Ryan didn't care if he was up 0-2 or down 3-0. Every pitch was 100% fury. He walked more batters than anyone in MLB history. He also hit 158 of them and threw 277 wild pitches. Facing Nolan Ryan was like walking into a buzzsaw blindfolded. Ask Robin Ventura. He charged Ryan in 1993 and got pounded in the head like a speed bag by a man twice his age. They called it the Texas haircut. Don't mess with Texas, and don't mess with Nolan Ryan. Pitcher number 6, Aroldis Chapman, the Cuban Missile. You've seen 100 miles per hour before, but Aroldis Chapman made it look casual. He was clocked at 105.1 miles per hour, twice. Slugger Andrew McCutchen once said, "It's like trying to catch a fly, not a fly ball, an actual insect." Chapman's velocity turned grown men into statues. Left-handed hitters called it scary. Right-handers weren't much braver. And when he lost control, forget fear. We're talking survival mode. Even today, he's still touching 104 miles per hour in games. And tattooed on his wrist, 105.1, like a war medal. Which of these guys would you be most afraid to face? Comment below and tell us. And hey, if you're still breathing after hearing about all this heat, smash that like button and let's keep rolling. Modern terrors, pitchers of today, that strike fear. Jacob deGrom, the silent assassin. No emotion, no antics, just absolute clinical destruction. When healthy, deGrom is an alien. He throws 101 with command, wipes out hitters with 93 mph sliders, and makes MVPs look like little leaguers. Batters say the ball screams out of his hand. The only thing scarier than deGrom on the mound is knowing he's not done yet. Spencer Strider, the mustached menace. He looks like a vintage pitcher from the 70s, but he throws like a cyborg from the future. Strider's fastball averages 98 to 99. His slider is basically a video game glitch, and he punches out hitters like it's personal. He's young, he's explosive, and he's coming for strikeout records. Pitchers aren't supposed to get this good this fast, but here we are. Garrett Cole, the cyborg commander. Precision, power, ruthlessness. Garrett Cole doesn't need intimidation tactic. He lets his stuff do the talking. He leads the league in strikeouts almost every year. His four-seamer rides, his slider cuts, his changeup dies, and when he's locked in, you can't breathe at the plate. The look in his eyes, pure calculation. He's not just trying to get you out, he's dissecting your soul. Honorable mentions: Max Scherzer, crazy eyes, filthy stuff, never smiles, terrifying. Justin Verlander, that late-life heater, it's aged like wine, laced with venom. Hunter Green, 103 miles per hour and rising, and he's just getting started. What makes a pitcher? Truly scary? Raw velocity? Absolutely. No control? Even worse. But the real fear comes when you know he can hit the strike zone, but might choose not to. It's the smirk before a brushback pitch. It's the stare down after strike 3. It's the feeling that this man isn't just playing baseball, he's playing you. From Bob Gibson to Spencer Strider, from fireballers to headhunters. These are the men who turned the baseball mound into a psychological war zone. So, next time you step into the box, look up and remember, sometimes the scariest monsters don't wear capes, they wear cleats. Which pitcher belongs on this list that we missed? Drop a comment and click this playlist for more foul ball deep dives into the game's wildest legends. We'll see you in the next one.